What's up, guys? It's Brightside. I'm back at it again, and this time we're going to be breaking down the entire main card for UFC Fight Night Maia versus Condit. So hyped for that fight. Very hyped for this card. We're just gonna break it down right here live for you guys. We're gonna go through all 4 fights, and I'm gonna give you guys my predictions, and we're gonna break these fights down. So yeah, Joe Silva really fucking hates me, because this is a nightmare for me. And looking at these 4 fights, I'm dying on the inside. We got Joe Lozon versus Jim Miller. First fight on the main card, right? Like, Joe Lozon right now has not looked so impressive in a very long time. Yeah, he's been on and off, like wins and losses. It's not like he's on a huge winning streak. But he just TKO'd fucking Diego Sanchez, okay? Legitimately TKO'd Diego Sanchez. Something that has never happened before. We've never seen Diego fucking legitimately TKO'd. This is a guy who fucking threw down non-stop with Gilbert Melendez, and we didn't see him TKO'd or knocked out. So we've never seen that, and Joe Lozon just legitimately pulled that shit off, okay? Not to mention, right after, Jim Miller had lost to Diego. Yeah, 196, the same card as Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz won. He had lost to Diego Sanchez. That's Jim Miller. And then he beats Takanori Gomi, UFC 200, TKO punches. But you look at fucking Joe Lozon, Joe Lozon had TKO punches, Takanori Gomi, just before he lost to Evan Dunham, which was just before he did what he did to Diego Sanchez, okay? So you look at, you just look at their last 5 fights. No, let's look at from the last time they fought each other even. The last time they fought each other even, like, from then on, they've still kind of mirrored each other. Like, this is what's so fucking amazing about this. So Jim Miller and Joe Lozon fought at the UFC 155. Jim Miller won a unanimous decision, it was a brutal fucking fight, man. It was a brutal fight. Like, Joe was cut really bad. I'm pretty sure they have that fight on YouTube now. You guys should check it out if you haven't seen it. It is brutal. It's such a brutal fight. Like, Jim really did dominate that fight, but Joe hurt him. Joe hurt him a couple times in that fight. It was back and forth, but the unanimous decision, that's 100% right. I mean, Jim, no matter how you fucking watch this fight, Jim beat him up. So since then, we'll look at what Joe's done since that loss, right? Joe lost that decision to Jim in 2012, late 2012, December 29th. And then in August of 2013, he lost to Michael Johnson. That was Fight Night Shogun in Sonnen. Then he beat Mac Danzig in a unanimous decision. That's Johnson versus Benavidez 2. UFC on Fox. And then he beat Michael Chiesa by doctor stoppage at UFC Fight Night Jacare versus Musasi. It was the fight of the night. It was a fucking amazing fight. I highly recommend you guys go back and watch that one too, because that was fucking that was another brutal thing to see. Then he was TKO'd by Al Iaquinta after that. But it wasn't something that was, a shock. It wasn't one of those really shocking things. It wasn't like we hadn't seen him be TKO'd before. Masvidal was the first one to ever beat him, TKO'd him. Kenny Florian TKO'd him, and then Pettis, of course, the KO with the head kick. So it's not like it was a first time thing. But yeah, that's just because of Lozon's style. He goes out there to fight. He goes out there to finish. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how. He wants those bonuses. He's the fucking bonus king of the UFC. You look at it. He had 3 fights first fight in the UFC, Jens Pulver, he had knockout of the night. So that's his first fight, got a bonus. Second fight, got a bonus. Third fight, didn't. Fourth fight, got a bonus. Fifth fight, didn't. Sixth fight, seventh fight, 8th fight, 9th fight, 10th fight, and 11th fight in a row got a bonus in the UFC. Did not get the 12th fight. That was the Anthony Pettis KO. The next fight against Jeremy Varner, he got submission of the night and fight of the night in 13. His 14th fight of the night with Jim Miller. you know, and then 15, 16 in the UFC, he didn't get anything. But 17, that's fight of the night. Performance of the night against Diego Sanchez. So you want to talk about bonuses? That's 2, 4, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14. Okay? 14 fucking bonuses in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21, around 21 fights. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, yes, it does. And around 21 fights, okay? 14 fucking bonuses. That's pretty crazy shit, man. So, like I said, bonus king of the UFC, Joe Lozon. And that's the style, you know. He's there for fucking knockouts and submissions. You know, always getting fight of the nights, performance of the night, submission of the night, KO of the night. He's looked very impressive. And when you look at their records side by side, it's like, oh fuck, man, because you know he knocked out Gomi in fucking 2 minutes 37 seconds. I think it took a little bit longer for Miller to do it. Miller just lost to Diego recently, whereas Joe had just destroyed Diego recently. A minute 26 seconds. That's an even more amazing thing. He TKO'd Diego Sanchez in a minute 26 seconds. This is a guy who we'd never seen KO'd before. You know, we'd seen it. He TKO'd one time, I think it was a doctor stoppage, but it wasn't a legitimate TKO. You know, a doctor stoppage. He's not out. He's not about to be out. It's not a legitimate TKO to me. Doctor stoppages are doctor stoppages. Yes, it counts as a TKO. You couldn't fight anymore. So yeah, I think it counts as a win for the other person when you lose by doctor stoppage. You know what I mean? I do see it that way, but I don't. I see it as a technical knockout. You know what the term actually stands for? It's a technical knockout. Technically, he was knocked out of competition, but he wasn't knocked out in the term of unconscious, you know what I mean, or almost unconscious, how I think of what a knockout is, you know what I mean. So I don't like that term when it's used incorrectly, but I understand when people are saying that. Just like, you know, Joe Lozon with Michael Chiesa, you know, that was a doctor stoppage. You know, the doctor said, yeah, this fight's not going on anymore, right? So sucks to be Chiesa, but yeah, that's a loss for him. But I wouldn't say Chiesa got knocked out by Lozon. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense to me to say that, because that's just simply not true, right? So that's where I stand on that. But this was a legitimate TKO over Diego Sanchez, which, like I said, you look at Miller. You know, Miller recently had just lost to Sanchez when this happened. Yeah, his fight before at 196. You know what I mean? So yeah, dude, it's hard. Plus he was submitted by Chiesa. I forgot about that even. You know what I mean? Chiesa was looking fucking unstoppable. Chiesa's a beast too, man. So yeah, like that's what I'm saying. But the thing about Jim is he's always been one of those ones to really only lose to elite guys. You know, his first loss was to Frankie Edgar outside of the UFC. You know what I mean? Then his second loss was Gray Maynard, UFC 96. Then he lost to Benson Henderson when he was on that huge run again. You know, he's always gone on runs. He went on a 5-fight win streak, lost to Frankie. Then from there, he went on a 2, 4, 6, 8-fight win streak, lost to Gray. You know, and then he went on 2, 4, 6, 7-fight win streak, lost to Benson. And when he was on that 7-fight win streak, like when he beat Kamal Shalarus, it was like, oh yeah, man, give him a top 5 guy and then give him a title shot. Well, he got fucking Benson, and that shit happened. You know, and that was when Jim Miller's career kind of started looking differently than what it was. You know, because by that point, 2011, you know, 20-2 was Jim Miller's record. You know, the guy looked like an absolute animal. 20-2, and the only people he had lost to were Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar. So before WEC was integrated into the UFC, you know, Jim Miller was like arguably pound for pound the third best lightweight in all of the UFC. You know what I mean? And then Benson and Anthony and all them showed up, and that really fucked up Jim Miller's game plan. Uh, but hey, shit happens. So yeah, he lost to Benson and never ended up getting that title shot. But you guys can't forget he was in line. He was very close in line, and Joe hasn't been there. You know what I mean? Joe hasn't been close in line, really ever. So then he beats Melvin, and they were still like, you know what? He lost to Benson, but look at what Benson had done. So they were kind of giving Jim the benefit of the doubt. They threw him Nate. You know what I mean? Another very elite guy. He lost again, right? After that, he had the dominant performance over Joe Lozon. Then he loses to Pat Healy. Now, a lot of people don't remember Pat Healy was also looking for a fucking run. When Pat came back, Pat was looking for a run too, and a lot of people forget that. So again, another very elite guy. Yes, it turned into a no contest because Pat tested positive for marijuana. But still, I remember I bet on Joe or Jim in this fight with my buddies, just because I didn't think Pat would fucking pull that off. And I remember seeing fucking Jim's face the second Pat locked that choke in. I looked, I was like, oh shit, he's going out. He's going out, and there was a look of terror in Jim's face. This is a guy who's been choked, I guarantee choked unconscious in the gym before. It just happens. It's not always a purpose thing. Sometimes it just happens. Someone doesn't let go fast enough. You don't tap fast enough. Shit happens. You know what I mean? So this is a guy who I guarantee has been choked out before. But when Pat Healy grabbed his neck in that fight, I saw it in his face. He had never, ever had his neck attacked the way it was attacked. Pat Healy, he was squeezing, trying to pop fucking Jim Miller's head off his shoulders. Pat Healy was looking for it too, right? So don't forget that, guys. Like, that's what I'm saying. He only loses to elite guys, like very, very elite guys. Like, and I'm not saying that Joe's not elite, but when you look at it, he only loses up until recently, where you have, the Diago thing and the Michael Chiesa thing, which I'm going to get to. Yeah, Jim still looked extremely, extremely fucking impressive, because after he beat Yancey, after he beat Yancey Medeiros, he lost to fucking Donald. Yeah, he got KO'd, but it's Donald. Look where Donald's at now. He's at 170, KO and Rick Story. So Donald's moved on to literal bigger and better things. So again, another fucking top elite guy, right? So it's like Jim Miller's always been in this elite level, no matter what in his career. Whereas Joe's kind of, the bottom of the elite to upper mid Carter, as they'd say in a pro wrestling kind of term, right? It's just where his placement's kind of always been. So Jim's always kind of been on a higher placement, and this is Joe's opportunity to fucking catapult himself into Jim's spot. You know what I mean? As far as prestige-wise, right? Because Joe might have more bonuses, but when you look at the record, you look at what's happened, I personally am more impressed at first glance, like instantaneously, just side by side, you look at them, remembering from back in the day even, bringing myself back to those fights and how I felt at that time to compared to how I feel now. Instantaneously, I always kind of go for Jim. But then when I break it down, it's like, yeah, this is a perfect fight. Like, that was the reason they put it together back then, because it was perfect back then. It's perfect for them now. This is a great fight. Great fight. So yeah, he lost to Donald, and then he loses to Beneil Dariush, which is, again, he's an elite guy. Some people could argue that, and I'm sure you have a great argument, but I would say Beneil is a very elite guy. Just hasn't had a chance to quite show how elite he is and how good he truly is yet. But trust me, you're gonna see really good things from Beneil. But then Jim, he bounces back. He beats Danny Castillo. And then the Michael Chiesa fight, he loses to Michael Chiesa. And Michael Chiesa is an animal, man. He is. He's a killer. Don't sleep on him either. I'm telling you, he's in the same situation I see as Beneil. Not one of those guys that have been around face value wise for a long time, but killers, fucking killers, and you can't underestimate them. And they proved that fighting Jim, because that's what I like. Look at the people he's lost to up until those two guys, very elite guys. So how can you say that that they're not elite, right? They're definitely up there. And then you have the unanimous decision to Diego, and with decisions, people could always argue. I'm not gonna even fucking touch on it. Diego won this fight. And then he had to bounce back again. He fought Takanori at 200. He KO'd Takanori 218. And I think I said Joe Lozon's was like 237 or 137 or something like that. But yeah, so that's his career since he fought Joe, and Joe's career since he had fought Jim. So like I said, they've been very mirrored, very, very mirrored as of lately. They were very, very mirrored before that even. Yeah, it's a great fight, and this is one of those fights that I think it would be great at any point in time in their careers. Their careers have always really mirrored each other. Yeah, amazing how similar the careers really have been. And I highly encourage you guys to look at the record, see how similar. It's pretty amazing. They are just like that little post, the Connor and Nate, they're Batman and Joker. Jim Miller and Joe Lozon are each other's Batman and Joker for sure. For sure. When you see this, you guys will notice that. So let's get right into this breakdown. You got Joe Lozon 26-11. Like I said, just TKO'd fucking Diego Sanchez. His last loss is to Evan Dunham, the unanimous decision. Yeah, and then you got Jim, man. Go over to Jim. You got Jim at 26-8-1. The one being that Pat Healy fight, the no contest, so it was actually a loss, but overturned. His last fight, Takanori Gomi, TKO. His last loss was Diego Sanchez, unanimous decision. Yeah, so when I really break this fight down, right, you have Joe Lozon, who's got okay stand-up, you know what I mean? He's not a savant anywhere, he's far from it, but extremely good stand-up. Great fucking ground game. But you look at Jim Miller, he's got above average boxing, okay, very crisp boxing. It's awesome boxing. He's got some really good leg kicks when he decides to throw them. He's got some sneaky fucking head kicks too, man. He's a great fucking wrestler, and he's got some crazy fucking submissions. So when it comes to being able to dictate this fight and choose where the fight's gonna happen and who has more skills on paper, definitely you got Jim Miller for that one. I would have to say so. I mean, yeah, I can't even see a valid argument that that would hold water to anything I could throw back at it to defend Jim Miller being better on paper. So being better overall, that's a totally different story. But on paper, I don't think you can argue with me, especially considering he's already lost to Jim. So as of right now, you do have to say Jim's the better man. But yeah, you look at Joe lately. It's just he's had a very impressive run as of late. Yeah, but see, the way Jim won this fight the first time was being able to predict what he wanted to do and do whatever he really wanted to do. He boxed him up, grinded him out, did whatever he wanted to Joe because he could, and I can't see Joe doing that. So if Joe was going to win this fight, it'd be a shocking blast, just like he did to Diego. You know, like nice little shot, get him hurt, and rush in kind of thing. Shit, man. He did hurt him in that last fight. Joe did hurt Jim in that last fight, so I could see him doing that. But I really don't want to bet against Jim, just because there's like I said, there's so many things for him in this. But Joe is that guy, you know. Joe Lozon is that guy. Let me just take one more quick look at Joe's record here. See if anything jumps out at me. Yeah. Could get a submission off his back for sure. For sure he could. But, man, Jim's got some slick defense. How many times has Jim been submitted? I think 4. Oh, 2. Oh, he's got 4 now. So I was like, okay, yeah, so Michael Chiesa and, wait, how does that, okay, yes, so 3 times he's been submitted. But Pat Healy was overturned. Yeah, so Nate Diaz, Pat Healy, and Michael Chiesa are the ones who fucking submitted him. Joe Lozon, arguably right up there with their jiu-jitsu, except for Nate's. And even then, you could maybe argue. Fuck. Yeah, I'm still gonna stick with the solid prediction here. I'm gonna go with Jim Miller, and we'll say unanimous decision, just because that's the safe thing right now. I mean, yeah, he TKO'd Takanori, but yeah, his last finish before that was 2014. Now, man, yeah. He's not on a huge finishing run. He's been going to the judges quite a bit. Yeah. So I'll go Jim Miller, decision, UD. Split D. Split decision, Jim Miller. That's what I'm going to go with on that one, guys. That sounds good to me. So let's get right on to the next one, because that breakdown was fucking huge. The next one right there, Paige Van Sant, Beck Rawlings. This is another really good fight. I'm not going to take as long on this one. I'm going to be straight up, very forward with you guys. Paige has the skills to beat Beck. Beck has the skills to beat Paige. Like, this is a really good matchup. But I'm going to go with Beck here. I'm going to go with Beck, second round submission, I think. I'm thinking second round submission. You know, yeah, we'll say third. Third round submission. Yeah, I don't know, though. She could definitely hold Beck down. I mean, I just see this fire from Beck, you know what I mean? Beck hasn't been fighting the competitors of the same caliber, you know? And Carla, a much smaller girl, held Beck down. You know, just like Paige could. You know. And I really don't see them giving Paige another fight that she might lose. Definitely want to build that pretty face. So they already definitely think Beck is not a good choice for, or that Paige is not a good choice for Beck, rather. Um, Especially considering you look at her losses, she loses by decision, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna go with that underdog pick on this one. You know, I'm gonna show a little faith in my gut, which is probably fucking wrong, because usually I like to think about it a little bit more. And the more I think about it, the more the more I'm telling myself I'm fucking retarded. But I'm gonna just have a little faith in myself here, and I'm gonna go with my girl Beck Rollins. That's my intake there. Beck Rollins with a third round submission. Then we have Pettis and Oliveira. This is do or die for Pettis, man. This is do or die for Pettis. I'm going to be very straightforward with you. I think that Pettis gets it. I think it's going to be man. Could it be first? Yeah, that's when it happens, man. First round TKO. Yeah, that's when it happens, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say Anthony Pettis first round TKO. You look at Charles's record, man. He doesn't, when he is facing strikers and a striker hits him, he doesn't do a very good job. With exception of Frankie, man. Frankie lit him up a bit, but he had very improved boxing. His boxing probably looked the sharpest it had ever looked at any time in Charles. So yeah, in that fight, he went the distance with Frankie, which was a fucking great fight. But yeah, all the other hitters, you know, Max, Donald, Cub, he did not like that, and he went out in the first round. So but yeah, again, very quick, very easy. I'm gonna go with Pettis there, guys. Yeah, I mean, that one is to me, it's very quick and easy. Just like the breakdown, I see the fight going the same way. It is do or die for Pettis. So I'll give you guys a little breakdown on this here. This will be the fourth one. If he loses here, this will be the fourth one. You know, it's not like he's getting finished. Every loss he's ever had has been a decision, right? But I think he defended the title one time against Gill after beating Benson again, and since then it's been decision loss, right? So it's not looking good for Anthony. I mean, I don't think he can take a decision loss against Charles. I don't think he can get submitted against Charles. And if he gets KO'd, man, he's got a big problem on his hands. Big problem on his hands. So, like I said, it's do or die for Anthony, man. Do or die for Anthony. And then we get to my fucking nightmare. The fight that terrifies me the most. We have got Damian Maia, Carlos Condit. Not fun, guys. Not fun. I mean, it's going to be a fucking fun fight. Just thinking about analyzing it makes my fucking heart race. Thinking about it really quick, going through it really quick, I see absolutely anything happening in this fight. man, when I look at this, like, I have an outcome that I want to see, because I think it looks best for both of them. I think it shows both of them what needs to happen in both their careers, and I think it puts both of them on the right path for each of them. So I have my wants, but that doesn't matter. I have my suspicions too, man. Carlos is sneaky. Carlos is sneaky, man. It's a sneaky motherfucker, but, you know, Damian goes, oh, you're looking impressive, are you? Well, how impressive I am. That's what Damian likes to say to guys. Yeah. Pat Healy with that fucking dirty choke. Choking out, well, not choking him out, but choked Carlos. I forgot about that. Really forgot about that one. Yeah, see, that's it's not a good thing, man. It's not a good thing to have Damian Maia on your back. Doesn't matter how good your jiu-jitsu is. Doesn't matter how good your jiu-jitsu is. I hate this. I hate this. Man, I want to just give you guys a double prediction, but prediction for both. Because I can't. Fuck me. This is why I always say it. I've said it a million times, man. Maia is my nightmare when it comes to analyzing fights, predicting fights. Just because it's hard to go against him, man. It's very, very hard to go against him. And they always want to put him against the guys you want to root for. The guys that also look just so goddamn impressive. Yeah, I don't know, man. I want to say that Carlos Condit's going to take this one. Split decision. Split decision. You know, I can see fucking Maia riding him, you know, holding on like a backpack and choking him out. I can. But yeah, I'm gonna predict Carlos takes this one. I'm gonna predict Carlos takes this one. But Maia, man, riding 5-fight win streak right now. Hasn't lost since 2014. Oh man, oh man. It's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be a good fight. Little interesting fact here. I did not know that Dong Young Kim got TKO'd by Damian Maia due to a muscle spasm. I cannot remember that fight. And we're going to see how much time we got here. We got 33 minutes. I'm actually going to look that fight up because I don't remember that fight at all. And it seems very interesting. So if you guys want to stick around with me, I'm going to do a little reaction to Dong Young Kim having a muscle spasm in his fight with Damian Maia. Because it is completely escaping me right now. I just can't even think of how it happened at all. So, find this little highlight and we will do a little reaction shot bonus here. If I can find it. Probably will not be able to. But I will look anyways. Nope, I can't find it, guys. Cannot find it. Yeah, very strange. I cannot remember that fight at all. I must have missed it. I'm gonna actually, I'll look, see when that fight even happened. 148. What card was that? Silva Sun in 2. Huh. Weird. I remember a lot of these fights. Weird, weird, weird. That fight has just completely escaped my memory at all. So, it's very weird. I'm going to have to find that at some point. For sure. But, those are my predictions, guys. This video is over. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for all the support. I'll give you guys another quick little rundown on what my predictions were here at the end. I have Jim Miller taking it, Beck Rollins taking it, Anthony Pettis taking it, and Carlos Condit taking it. So those are my predictions. Not very confident in these ones at all, because this is a hard card to call, guys. Very hard card to call. Could you imagine if I got all 4 right, not feeling confident at all? You want to talk about a Mystic Mac. Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? So, again, thank you guys for the support. Do your stuff down below. You know how YouTube works. Do your thing. If you like. If you dislike. If you want to talk to me, comment down below, and I will comment back to you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. Yeah, you know, I do a lot of content like this. Every week there's a UFC, which means every week you will get at least one breakdown. And for those of you guys that are just seeing this first breakdown, I usually do break fights up and do an individual breakdown for each fight. But I do that for main cards, like main pay-per-view events, not Fox cards. So sorry if you thought this video was very, very long, but tried to fit all of them in there. And plus my Jim Miller Joe Lozon breakdown just really kind of kills me, because that's another really, really hard fight. So yeah, guys, get hyped for UFC fight night. Maia versus Condit coming down to my neck of the woods, you know, Vancouver, BC. So yeah, enjoy the fights, guys. Enjoy the videos. Do your stuff down below, like I said, and I will catch you guys later. I'm going to probably go play some video games, because it's a good life. What other reason? You know, what other reason do you need to play video games other than you can? You can. You wake up, the sun is shining, right? You put a video on YouTube, you play some video games, you go to sleep, you wake up, you go to work, you come home, have a little nap, wake up, do it all again. Right? That's a good life. Sounds like a good life to me. So, like I said, guys, thank you for being a part of this great life. I'm going to go and play some video games because I can see it. I can see it in the corner right now. I'm looking at it like it's calling to me. So, again, guys, thank you very much. And I will see you guys very, very soon. I promise. I promise you guys I will see you soon. So, goodbye.